I had a dream last night. I was talking to Johnny Cash. He was looking good. We were talking about the state of the record business, radio, the state of the country. Glenn Beck, a rock. I woke up this morning in Okema and I realized none of us are ever going to talk to Johnny Cash again. Not on this side. I asked him in the dream, though, what was it like walking with legends, gods at Sun Record Studios in Memphis, Tennessee? He said we weren't gods then, just a bunch of hillbillies trying to make a living without working. I've always been sad about losing all my heroes. I can still remember my mom waking me up to bring me the newspaper about Buddy Holly and Richie Valens and the Big Bopper. I can still remember her coming in and telling me that Johnny Horton had died in a car wreck. Now I'm old enough and I've been around enough to know that celebrity culture is not everything. You're always going to lose your heroes and your idols. But I worry that we lost more than just a hillbilly singer when Johnny Cash died. And I'm especially reminded of it on weeks like this. Who's going to stand up for the disenfranchised? Who's going to speak for the people who can't speak for themselves? I'm in a whole room full of them right now, but who's going to get their own television show and then do what they're supposed to? Edwin told me the other night, how come nobody's mad? Playing love songs. What about BP? Let me see now. It's a British corporation with their corporate offices in the Marshall Islands, with American tax breaks. And they tell our reporters who can get close to the problem area there and who can't. They tell us how much oil's gushing, not spilling, gushing. Who's going to speak for the soldiers who are going to come back from another unpopular war? We got to find them here. We got to find them with the 16-year-old kids who play these sets. There's a big void to be filled, and this would seem to be the place to go looking. I played these songs in the key that wasn't too demanding. I wanted to be the king of rock and roll. I didn't want to be the last one standing. Now I'm up here thinking about Woody Guthrie, our first real hero who used music to try to change the world for the better. He told us the truth about peace and love and war and banking and immigration, money, integrity. He wrote the real national anthem. You know, I always liked all that stuff fine, but it was just pretty songs to me until the first year I ever came to Okema. You stand up on that stage and you look out and you see tears streaming down people's faces while they're singing that song. It doesn't have anything to do with rockets, red glare, or any of that crap. This land's our land. Speaking of the goddamn Gulf waters, those are our waters. That doesn't belong to BP or the government. It belongs to us. How come when we were going into Iraq, George W. Bush said, there's a lot of oil under that land. And when we dig it up, it belongs to the Iraqi people. Not the oil companies, not the government. It belongs to the people. What about the oil in the United States of America? Those guys didn't get my permission to sell off leases in the Gulf of Mexico. I live by the Gulf of Mexico. I'll bet I get put in a long line trying to get on an airplane to go home this time. And you know something I figured out too, the proudest thing that I have about any of this stuff at all is that, as far as I know, I believe I'm the one who named the geniuses, and I think I figured out what happened. When God gave out brains, he forgot to give the politicians in Oklahoma any, so what he had left over he gave to the musicians. And I can say that without fear of anybody having their feelings hurt, because I live in Florida. I don't know what they did with the extra fucking brains in Florida. This is the kind of thing that we usually say for 3 a.m. in Mike Nave's hotel room. How are we going to replace Woody Guthrie? We lost Woody, Johnny Cash, we've lost Cisco, Sonny Terry. Thank God we're still blessed with Pete Seeger, Arlo Guthrie, Harry Ware. Songs in a key that's not too demanding. I inherited a mission of peace and love and understanding. I don't want to be the last one standing. Thank you. I pray for this country.